Ever wondered what would happen if someone else tried Saitama's insane training routine? Well, today we're diving into a story about just that. Meet Blaze Knight, an A-class hero feeling a little overshadowed by the so-called twin-caped heroes. After a particularly rough day, jealousy got the best of him, and he decided he was going to steal Saitama's power for himself. He dug deep, researching the legendary secret to Saitama's strength. And what did he find? 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Every single day. Blaze Knight just laughed. That's it? Pathetic. I'll double it. And so, his misguided journey began. The very first day, he cranked out 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, and 200 squats, then immediately set off on a grueling 20-kilometer run. The moment he crossed the finish line, he didn't just feel the burn, completely collapsed, every muscle screaming in protest. Meanwhile, halfway across the city, Saitama was casually debating whether to buy the premium brand of soy sauce or the one on sale. The contrast couldn't have been more stark. Blaze Knight was pushing his body to its absolute breaking point, convinced this was the path to ultimate power. Saitama was just living his life. Undeterred by the near-total system failure of day one, Blaze Knight pressed on. Day after day, he forced himself through the brutal, doubled routine. He was obsessed. He refused to take breaks, believing rest was for the weak. He even turned off his air conditioner, convinced that enduring the sweltering heat was a key, unspoken part of the training. He was all in. To complete the transformation, he decided he needed to look the part. He grabbed a razor, and with a few determined strokes, his fiery red hair was gone, replaced by a smooth, bald head. Staring at his reflection in the mirror, panting and drenched in sweat, he flexed. I feel stronger already. He could almost taste the power, imagine the respect, the fear, the headlines. Back at Saitama's apartment, our favorite hero let out a massive yawn. Flipping through channels on his tiny TV, completely oblivious to the Herculean effort being made in his name. The most intense decision Saitama made all week was what manga to read next. Blaze Knight's conviction only grew stronger with each passing day. He felt a new power surging through his veins, an energy he was sure could rival anyone. He was ready for his debut. And as if on cue, the city alarms blared. A new monster, a hulking beast, classified as demon level, was tearing through the downtown area. This was it. This was his moment. Blaze Knight didn't hesitate. He burst onto the scene, his bald head gleaming under the afternoon sun. He struck a heroic pose, pointing a confident finger at the rampaging creature. Fear me, monster. For I have trained like the great Saitama himself. My power is absolute. With a battle cry that echoed through the streets, he charged forward, full of vigor and self-belief. He launched himself into the air, ready to deliver a devastating blow, and was immediately swatted out of the sky like a fly. He crashed through the side of a building, sliding down the rubble in a daze. The monster hadn't even flinched. All that training, all that pain, and he was still no match. As dust and debris settled around the dazed Blaze Knight, a familiar green glow filled the air. Tatsumaki, the tornado of terror, floated nonchalantly nearby. She was, for some reason, still occasionally wearing a copy of Saitama's yellow jumpsuit, a phase she hadn't quite grown out of. She looked down at the struggling hero with a mix of pity and annoyance. "You're trying too hard," she muttered, rolling her eyes. Below, her sister Fuboki was coordinating with the Blizzard Bunch, efficiently evacuating civilians and setting up psychic barriers to contain the damage. Fuboki glanced over at the crater Blaze Knight had made. She just shook her head. Blaze Knight tried to push himself up, but his body refused to cooperate. He wasn't just beaten. He was utterly exhausted. The overtraining had left him with nothing in reserve. He had pushed his body past its limits for weeks, and now, when it mattered most, he had nothing left to give. He was completely spent, a hero in name only, unable to do anything but watch as the monster continued its rampage. Just as the situation looked its bleakest, a familiar, unassuming figure ambled onto the scene. It was Saitama, a plastic grocery bag swinging from his hand. He'd taken a detour because he'd forgotten to buy kombu for his hot pot. He looked at the massive monster, then at the wreckage, then at the collapsed Blaze Knight. He blinked. "Oh, it's that guy again." He let out a little sigh. as if this whole world-ending threat was just a minor inconvenience on his way home. He walked past the struggling heroes and the terrified civilians, right up to the demon-level threat. He wound up his arm not with any dramatic flair, but more like he was about to swat a mosquito. One casual punch. The impact was silent, but the result was absolute. The monster didn't explode or fly into the horizon. It just vanished. 1 second it was there, a city-destroying behemoth, and the next, there was nothing but a light breeze and a lingering sense of anticlimax. Blaze Knight stared, his mind unable to process what he had just witnessed. He fell to his knees, the last of his strength leaving him. The sheer, effortless power was incomprehensible. "How?" he whispered, his voice cracking. "I did the same training. I did double. I even gave up my air conditioner." Saitama, overhearing him, stopped and turned. He scratched his bald head, a genuinely confused look on his face. "Did you also forget to turn it on for 3 years straight?" he asked, as if that was the most logical question in the world. Blaze Knight just stared back, his expression completely blank. A small snort came from above. Tatsumaki was trying and failing to hide a smirk. Down on the street, Fubuki couldn't hold it in and let out a genuine laugh. In that one absurd moment, Blaze Knight finally understood. It was never about the push-ups or the running. It was never about a routine you could copy. It was about Saitama just being Saitama. There was no secret formula, no magic trick. There was only him. That was a truth no amount of training could ever replicate. What do you guys think? Is there a secret to Saitama's power we're all missing? Or is he just a one-of-a-kind anomaly? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this little what-if story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.